here to Mountain Lion Field. Welcome back here to Mountain Lion Field. We're underway here with Game 3 of this set. My name's Jake Ross alongside Michael Newman. We are underway in Game 4 of this 4-game set with Regis and UCCS. Leading things off is Jessie Case at the plate. The count on her is 2-2 as she starts things off here in Game 4. Lexi Rayburn gets a start for UCCS in Game 4 as she did in Game 2. We saw her go that whole game in the second of the 2 meetings between these 2 teams. She opens the game with the swinging strikeout to get Case to go down on strikes. That'll bring up Mia Campos, again playing third base. Some lineups for you here. Offensively, batting order-wise for Regis, it is Jessie Case leading things off, Mia Campos batting second, Alicia Martinez in the 3 spot with Catherine Raper batting cleanup. 5, 6, and 7, Rachel Williams, Shelby Shepard, and Mia Moore, with 8 and 9 being Jordan Simonsgard and Corinne Leto. Abby Covington will get the ball to start things off when the Rangers go out defensively. It is 0-2 at the plate at this point, though, for Mia Campos. Defensively for the Mountain Lions from left to right in the outfield. Brianna Matos in left, back in center field, Mia Perez and Bryn Horton out in right. The same outfield we saw in Game 1 today, Game 3 overall in the series. 1-2 count now at the plate. In the infield for UCCS on the corners, Sawyer Brewster and Peyton Reisman at third and first respectfully. Solana Martinez again at short as this one's lifted into center field, but over to make the play is Mia Perez, and 2 up and 2 down here for Lexi Rayburn, off to a good start in Game 2. To finish off those defensive alignments for UCCS, once again Solana Martinez at shortstop, and at her regular position at second, Morgan Hernandez Ballou. Behind the plate, coming in for Paige White on the field is Cassidy Hubner. Paige White will stay in the lineup as the designated player, She will stay in her typical 5-hole spot in the batting lineup. But the first time today we've seen Cassidy Hubner, we saw her in that designated player spot in Game 2 yesterday, as that is the typical way of doing things for Game 2 for UCCS. Rayburn sets and fires again. That one is in there for strike 2, and early dealing here for Rayburn as she is ahead 0-2 on Alicia Martinez. The 0-2 pitch on its way, and that's going to be hit high in the air at the edge of the infield. Martinez will settle underneath it in a 1-2-3 inning to get things going for UCCS in Game 2. A good start, but when we come back, the Mountain Lions will come up to bat for the first time in Game 4 of this series. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Mountain Lion and Rangers softball. Back here for the bottom of the first inning in Game 4 between the Rangers and the UCCS Mountain Lions. It'll be the typical leadoff player for UCCS and Morgan Hernandez Ballou leading things off against Abby Covington, who comes in to start Game 2 for the Rangers. We saw her in Game 2 coming in long relief after that game was started by Megan Loveland. She gave up 4 straight hits and a grand slam in the top of the first inning. That proved to be all the Mountain Lions needed as they won that game 4-3 in game 2 yesterday. Covington comes into the day today with a 3.28 earned run average, is 1-1 overall in 8 appearances. She was not the pitcher of record yesterday as Loveland gave up all 4 runs, and so she took the loss on her season, moving to 4-5. Covington eats up a lot of those innings for the Rangers. She has pitched 22 1/3 to this point this season. That extra third was the third out of the first inning yesterday. She is behind though here. 3 balls and 1 strike, but runs the count full on Hernandez-Ballou now. So the first batter of the game we get for UCCS, I should say, we see the first full count. 3-2 pitch on its way, and that one's fouled back to the screen, and the count remains.
And this is Abby Covington's first start of the season. You said she had 8 appearances. This is her 9th appearance and first start of the season.
Yeah, and typically she does come in that more long relief type of situation, the first arm out of the bullpen, so to speak, as that one is got underneath and skied into foul territory, but unable to make the catch as it was slicing away from her was Simon's guard, as the count will remain 3 balls and 2 strikes on the opening batter for UCCS here in game 2. A beautiful day here in Colorado Springs, Mountain Lion Park, about 60 degrees or so. A nice cool breeze coming in from behind home plate will help the batters if that comes into play, as going down on strikes to open things up is Hernandez-Ballou. But if you're not doing anything at home, feel free to come out here and join us for game 2. Plenty of open seating here at Mountain Lion Field. If not, or if you're up on Regis's side of things in Denver, we'll have the action for you today on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live YouTube. That one opening up the at-bat with Perez will sail in a bit high for ball 1. Full set of action here at UCCS with 2 games both on the baseball and softball sides of things. We'll have some updates from baseball for you here in the next half inning or so, as that one hits Perez, and so she will go to first base and be the first base runner of game 2, as no one was able to reach base for the Rangers in their half of the first inning. Solana Martinez steps in for UCCS. Martinez in game 1 was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a fly out to right. First pitch to her will be in there for strike 1. So a chance here for Martinez to move Perez into scoring position at the very least with the ball in play. Next pitch to her is high, ball 1,
We saw some big swings from her in this first game, looking for her to connect in the second one with Abby Covington on the mound.
Yeah, she looked to get more and more comfortable as the game went on, was unable to get contact where there was no defense, unfortunately, but definitely looks like she is making some strides to doing more damage in the lineup for UCCS. 2-1 the count on her now as she steps back into the batter's box. Getting her sign is Covington, and she'll set and fire, and hitting that one up into left field, and there you go as Solana gets her first hit of the day, and it's a single into left.
Now the dangerous bat of Sawyer Brewster comes up in the cleanup spot. A home run and a long double off the yellow trim in the outfield in the first game.
Mountain Lions have a chance to return the favor to Regis, who hit a 3-run home run against them in the first inning of game 3 this morning. as Brewster digs in, kind of hunches over a little bit in her windup. Likes to get that extra torque on her swing and generate that much more power. Than you said, she had a home run early, but that RBI double as well was just inches away from being a second home run of the day. As Brewster steps in, watches that one fly high for ball 2.
She uses her height to her advantage as well. We mentioned in the first show, she's 5'11", so she's going to use that frame to get as much power into her swing as possible.
Well, and she really uses that extra leverage she gets out of her legs and getting out of that crouching position to kind of use her core area and get that extra power out. She falls behind here, 1 ball and 2 strikes though. We'll see how she responds behind in the count. Her home run earlier in the day did come on a 1-2 count, and that one's fouled back to the screen, and the count remains. Brewster digs back in. Covington toes the runner and comes set. The offering from her, and that one's going to be a little squibber over. It's going to roll foul on the first base side of things. So Perez will return to second base, and we'll do it all again with another 1-2 count. Wind starting to pick up a little bit here, still blowing out from behind home plate. The pitch from Covington, a changeup, and it locks up Sawyer Brewster. She goes down looking, and 2 backwards Ks to start the game for Abby Covington. Brings up Paige White, who had the double to tie things up for the Mountain Lions at 4 in the 6th inning in Game 3. First time she's faced Covington here in Game 4. She hits that one high over at the wall, and to make the catch as she runs into the wall back there in right field is Rachel Williams, who's out there after catching in Game 1. We will be back for the 2nd inning. When we return, it will be 4, 5, and 6 due up for Regis with Raper, Williams, and Shepard. When we return to Mountain Lion Field, you're watching UCCS and Rangers softball.
We're back here at Mountain Lion Park. Across the parking lot for baseball, score is 5-3 New Mexico Highlands. Brandon Bayer for New Mexico Highlands with a 3-run home run that tied the game.
Yeah, after UCCS took a 1-0 lead over there, they're beginning to trail. We'll continue to follow those games as they're in the bottom of the 6th inning. They're playing 9 innings over at baseball today. The first pitch, though, back on our side of things is a foul ball down the line to Catherine Raper. Rayburn gets her sign and throws again. That pitch misses ball 1, evening the count at 1. Rayburn gets her sign again. The 1-1 pitch on its way to Rayburn, and she will hit that one back into the visiting stands behind home plate for strike 2. So 1-2 count now on Raper as Rayburn works ahead in that count. some stats coming into the day for you on Lexi Rayburn. She leads the way in earned run to average for the Mountain Lions, as that one is high for ball 2. She sports a 2.56 ERA with a 4-1 win-loss in 7 appearances, 6 starts on her season in 4 complete games, one of those against Regis in the win yesterday. That one's hit out to right field. Over to make the catch is Bryn Horton out there for out number 1. It will flip things over to Rachel Williams. Continuing on for the stats for Rayburn, she's pitched 38 1/3, given up 36 hits, 16 runs, 14 of which have been earned, has walked 26, really the only blemish on her stat line of the season to this point, has struck out 32, and the opposing hitters are only hitting a 247 average against Rayburn, so very strong pitching for the Mountain Lions out of number 7 in black and gold, and we typically see her in that game 2 start. As that one is going to miss as well, will be 1 ball and 1 strike now.
She's definitely done a good job at limiting damage. Like you said, the batting average only 247 against.
That one will miss as well. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count now at the plate on Williams. And Rayburn, typically we see her a little bit give up kind of some early traffic, but she is good at coming back in, like you said, limiting damage, as that one is over towards our vantage point, but will fall foul and skip over the fence out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now, and we apologize as our switcher's having some issues, as another foul ball over our direction lands literally right next to the previous foul ball over there by the batting cage of Regis University. Two balls and 2 strikes to count now at the plate. Rayburn comes set, begins her windup. The 2-2 offering is going to be strike 3 called on the outside half of the plate. What a spot from Lexi Rayburn as she gets that call to go her way, and the first backwards K and her second strikeout of the afternoon.
Definitely a great pitch on the block from Lexi Rayburn, getting the backward strikeout there. Solid start through 5 outs of this game for Lexi now.
Absolutely, as she is yet to allow anything for Regis, as that one swung through for strike 1. Shepard comes up for the first time in game 2 and game 1 of the day today. She was 0 for 4 with a walk, a couple of ground outs, a line out, and a strikeout made up her outs in game 1. She takes for ball 1 on that offering. Nobody on, 2 out for the Rangers here. 1-1 count at the plate. That one's gonna miss outside, ball 2. Two-1 the count now. Shepard at the plate, swings through that one, comes up empty as she tried to go down and get the fastball, but was unable to find it. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 2s are wild across the scoreboard here at Mountain Lion Park. The 2-2 pitch on its way, and that one is going to be put into play into right field, and that is a nice sliding catch out there by Bryn Horton, and 2 outs made by number 1 out there in right field. That will end the inning for the Rangers, for the Mountain Lions, when they come back up to bat. Their next time up, we'll have 6, 7, and 8 with Peyton Reisman. Cassidy Hubner will make her first plate appearance today, and Brianna Matos when we return to Mountain Lion Field. No score yet. We're heading to the bottom of 2 from Mountain Lion Field. You're watching RMAC Softball. back here at Mountain Lion Field as you look at the front range here in Colorado Springs over the third base side. A beautiful day in the shadow of Zebulon's Peak behind us, Pikes Peak. Looking over the town here in Colorado Springs always makes for some beautiful views for us that get to stomp around here every day. Strike one taken at the plate by Peyton Reisman. That one is a good take on the upper inside of the plate. 1 ball in, 1 strike now. Reisman once again playing first base for the Mountain Lions in this game 4, as that one is in there for strike 2. 1 ball in, 2 strikes in game 1 this morning. She was 0 for 4 with a pair of groundouts to second base, a line out, and a foul out, as that one's gonna miss as well and run the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch on its way from Covington, and that is just missing the elbow of Peyton Reisman on the inside half as she turns out of the way of that one. It slides past her though. Count is now full for Covington, who wears the little eye cage out there. Don't blame her, not very much distance between her and the batters. That one's blooped into right field, goes off the hand of Alicia Martinez and falls in. I believe that will be an error for Martinez as she was on her feet the whole way. So E4 to allow Reisman to reach base. The first base runner, or leadoff hitter I should say, gets on base for UCCS in this half of the inning to get you some defensive alignment here for the Rangers, as we neglected to do so in the first inning. In the outfield, left to right for the Rangers, Jordan Simonsgard back out left, Mia Moore and Rachel Williams out in right. We saw Williams do the catching. She, in game 1 today, she's the only change in the outfield for game 2. On the corners for the Rangers, Mia Campos is back out there at third base with Catherine Raper reprising her role, at first base, as that one's bounced towards the Mountain Lion dugout for strike 1 at the plate on Hubner. Up the middle for the Rangers, it is Jessie Case back at shortstop. Alicia Martinez comes in from right field and is at second base this time around, with the catching behind the plate being done this time by Corinne Lido. She will bat 9th. That one is bunted back to the screen from Hubner, and she is quickly behind 0-2. As we mentioned, Abby Covington making the start for the Rangers today. 0-2 on the batter at the plate. That is Cassidy Hubner, who is making her first plate appearance of the day after we did not see her in game 1. We did see her in game 2 yesterday, as we previously mentioned. But behind here, no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, a high fastball that she swings underneath for a strikeout. And the first out of the inning is recorded by the Rangers, and that will bring up Brianna Matos, the 3rd strikeout of the day already for Covington.
And kind of a similar start that we saw in the first game from Hartman. A lot of strikes early, a lot of strikeouts early, but the UCCS offense did make an adjustment as the game went on and was able to score those 4 runs.
As the first pitch there to Matos is in there for strike 1. She falls behind, and Covington definitely likes to challenge the hitters, as you said. She has struck out 3 of the 7, so just under 50% there on the strikeouts for UCCS hitters. Quickly 0-2 now at the plate is Brianna Matos, as Covington tries to get back up to that 50% strikeout mark through the Mountain Lions lineup the first time. Only batter she has yet to face in this game is Bryn Horton, who will bat after Matos if no double play is had. High on that one, first ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now. 1-2 pitch on its way here, and that one's going to be swung through once again, and another strikeout, so she does get back up to that 50% mark. It will bring up Bryn Horton, the last Mountain Lion to come up the first time through their lineup.
Yeah, first time through the lineup seeing Covington. And this is a time for these hitters to learn things about Covington and make those adjustments as the later innings go on.
Absolutely, as that one is going to be in there for strike one on Horton. As in game one today, Horton was 2 for 3 with a bunt, single, a double, and a run scored. The only out she recorded was in the 5th inning of that game. She grounded out on a bunt attempt. 0-2 pitch to her here is going to miss for ball 1. Good job by Horton to watch that all the way into the catcher's glove. Gives her a better idea of where those strike zone edges stand, as it's a 1-2 count, the offering coming, and that's going to be high for ball 2. A little bit of an aggressive secondary over at first base, but returning to the base will be Reisman. 2-2 pitch on its way, and that's outside, and the count's full. Excuse me, that's a pinch runner over there on first, as Brianna Jennings came in to pinch run for Reisman. They snuck that one past me, so it is Jennings on first. We saw her pinch hit in game 1, but swinging through that one for strike 3. So after giving up the error to get Reisman on base, Covington comes back to strike out the next 3, as we take a look back at some of the highlights from that inning here. As Rayburn has been pitching very well. You see that nice catch out there and right from earlier, and the Mountain Lions seem to have more momentum coming through. There's that nice sliding catch to end the half inning for the Rangers the last time around. See the error there for Reisman. That's how she reached base, but the next 3 for the Mountain Lions come up and are set down in order to end the inning. So we will stay right here as the Rangers are ready to get things started in their half of, to open up the 3rd inning. It will be Mia Moore, the center fielder, to lead things off. Due up for the Rangers in this inning is Moore, Simonsgaard, and Leto. Moore will dig in first for the Rangers. Rangers today wearing their white uniforms with the blue sleeve trim and the blue and yellow letters on the back. The Mountain Lions wearing their black uniforms with gold numbers. That one over to Hernandez Ballou, and 1 pitch and 1 out as Ballou makes the out at first base. Simonsgaard comes up, the left fielder for the Rangers in game 1 today. Reached base 3 times, but only had 1 hit, reaching on a fielder's choice and an error the other 2 times. All the way around, she was 1 for 4. Her only hit came in the 5th inning, an infield hit, as that was kind of that ground ball chopper in that awkward 6-hole spot for Solana Martinez. Was unable to get the throw over to first in time. This one is lifted up to Solana on the right side, or left side, of the infield. She'll settle underneath it for out number 2. So an efficient inning getting put together here by Rayburn as she continues to pitch well through the first 9 batters. The only batter that has not faced her yet is Corinne Leto. She stands in now. She swings through that one for strike 1.
Something I just noticed as well, in the Regis bullpen, there is someone warming up at the bullpen, so maybe Covington is supposed to be on a short leash today and get the bullpen out today.
Yeah, typically does not pitch a full game's worth of time. She did do that yesterday, so this may be a way to give her some sort of rest. We'll keep an eye on that situation for you and bring you updates as we have them. That one misses outside though. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Leto. Leto in game 2 yesterday was 0 for 3 with a sac bunt, a ground out, and a swinging strikeout. As that one misses low. 3 balls and 1 strike now. First time we've seen Rayburn reach 3 balls today. See how she responds here with 2 outs. 3-1 pitch on its way, and she loses her to first base. So a walk for Leto, and that's the first base runner of the day for the Rangers. Brings back up Jessie Case, who struck out swinging on a 2-2 count her last trip to the plate to start off this game. First pitch to her is going to be in there for strike 1, a strong start.
That's one of the things that we've seen from Rayburn this year is a little bit too many walks on the year. In her 38 innings pitched coming into the game, 26 walks, which is a little bit too many, and this is her first one of the day so far. So far throwing a lot of strikes and filling up the zone.
Yeah, we talked about Crenshaw in that kind of situation earlier, how she kind of deals with some early traffic, but settles in as the game goes on. Rayburn typically will get a couple runners on. Nice throw there, but it doesn't stick in the glove of Solana Martinez. She had to reach over the sliding Leto to try and get her glove on that one. Was able to soften it enough to keep it from rolling all the way, or bouncing all the way, I should say, into center field, but stolen base there for Leto. But Rayburn tends to deal with a little bit of traffic, but likes to work out of those kind of jam situations and limit damage. She is good at working out of jams, as this one's hit well. It's going to go off the top of the wall. Coming around to score is Leto into second base, and a close play there, but sliding in with a double, an RBI double no less, is Jessie Case, and that'll bring up Mia Campos.
That ball was a laser beam that hit off that wall. Any little bit more of launch angle on that ball, and that ball is well over the wall for a 2-run home run.
That's what Case can do to you. Case was really in a game that Rayburn pitched very well yesterday. Case was the only real batter that had the number of Rayburn, and she continues to see her well with an RBI double here. She had all 3 RBIs for the Rangers yesterday. Had a solo shot in the first inning on the very first pitch of the game. Came back in the second inning with an RBI double, and then had another solo shot in the 7th. So clearly seeing the ball well out of the hand of Rayburn is Jessie Case, but Campos is at the plate now. She's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. This is hit well into the outfield, and this is going to get over the fence. So another 3-run inning for the Rangers gets them up to a 3-0 lead, and the Mountain Lions are going to have to play catch up once again here in game 4 as a 2-run home run comes through off the bat of Mia Campos.
Yeah, and those runs came quick. Rayburn was rolling through this game, had 2 outs in this inning, got the first 2 with a ground out and a fly out, and then walk, double, home run. You know, one of the killers as a pitcher is those 2-out walks, I should say. They tend to score more often than you'd like.
Absolutely, she was perfect through the first 8 batters of the game. As this one's hit high in the air, it's going to get out of play on the first base side, but then she gives up the walk, to Leto with 2 outs, I should say, in this inning, and all with 2 outs has the damage been done here in the 3rd. She's ahead though now on Martinez. Martinez only saw 3 pitches in her first at bat. First 2 were watched strikes. The last one she hit A pop-up over to Solana Martinez at short. She's got a 1-1 count now. That one's going to miss low as well. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rayburn gets her sign, the 2-1 pitch on its way, and that's going to be hit high in the air over towards right field. Coming in to make the catch is Bryn Horton, and that will do it, but damage done by Regis as they get 3. A walk with 2 outs to Corinne Lido leads to a stolen base, and then an RBI double off the bat of Jessie Case, which is followed up in this consecutive at-bat from Mia Campos with a 2-run shot. That's where we stand. We head to the bottom of 3 with the Rangers up by a trio. Back here at Mountain Lion Field with the Rangers up by 3 after they score that crooked number up in the top half of the 3rd inning. It's going to be the top of the lineup back for the Mountain Lions. Hernandez, Ballou, Perez, and Martinez due up for UCCS.
And a quick update across the parking lot. UCCS loses the first game of the doubleheader today, 5-3. Which brings their record to 5-11 now on the year.
Yeah, the Mountain Lion baseball side of things, as that one is in there for strike 1 on Hernandez. Ballou has really struggled at the start of their season, have been a very successful program in their history, only in their 8th season, as this one is hit well into left center field, kind of in no man's land, and it does fall in on the track. Sliding into second base with a leadoff double is Morgan Hernandez Ballou. And after striking out, looking on a full count to open the day, she comes back and takes the second pitch of her second at-bat out to left center field for a double. Brings up Mia Perez, who was hit by a pitch and then stranded on second base in the 1st inning for UCCS. But back to the point about the Mountain Lion baseball program, they won their first RMAC tournament last year and was ousted in the regional tournament by Colorado Mesa University, who had an unbelievable year. I mean, in the regular season, they only had like 4 wins total, 3 of which were against UCCS. And Mountain Lions were really the only team that could solve the giant of Colorado Mesa, but they have gotten off to a really slow start. They've lost some players and are looking for some new leadership inside their dugout, so we hope that they get rolling here as RMAC play kicks into gear, as that one is offered at. So it is 1 ball and 2 strikes back here at softball here at UCCS.
Yeah, and on that double from Hernandez Ballou, it just looked like a little bit of miscommunication between the left fielder and the center fielder, Simonsgard and Moore, and just fell in between them.
And that's going to be a strikeout for Covington, the first one of this inning. So 1 out now with a runner on second base in scoring position. That is Hernandez Ballou, who doubled to open the inning. Brings up Solana Martinez, who broke out for that single. She was stranded, though, on first base in that 1st inning. Takes for ball 1 to start this at-bat. Next pitch for Solana is going to be in there at the knees for strike 1. Tough pitch to fire at if you're Martinez. A very good spot from Covington right on the inside part of the plate there at the knees. Almost an unhittable part of the strike zone there if you can hit it consistently. The 1-1 pitch, though, is going to be on the outside half of the plate. It looked like a generous spot from the umpire there, but strike 2 nonetheless. 1 ball and 2 strikes. one's too far outside that time, so evening the count at 2 is Martinez. Coming set is Covington, 2-2. That one's hit into left field again. Back-to-back singles for Solana Martinez as her bat gets going here in game 2. And moving up to third base is Hernandez-Ballou. Not quite enough into the outfield. And Simonsgaard, with a good arm out there and left. So holding at third base is Morgan Hernandez-Ballou, but Sawyer Brewster comes up to the plate. She struck out looking her first time up on a 1-2 count. And she has an opportunity to tie the game, or really, yes, tie the game here with a ball over the fence. She represents the tying run for UCCS, but at least get one back with Hernandez-Ballou. One base path away.
And the only reason she didn't score was because that ball was a line drive, potentially could have been caught. So she did have the freeze before advancing to third base.
Yes, it was a very well hit ball off the bat of Martinez. So Hernandez-Ballou was not able to make it around third. 2 balls in, no strikes. The count now on Brewster, especially you don't want to run yourself into it. Now this ball's crushed. Is it a fair ball? It is. 3-run home run, and the Mountain Lions tie it with one swing of the bat. What a hit by Sawyer Brewster. She got all of that ball.
Yeah, that ball going over the second fence behind our main fence here at Mountain Lion Park. That ball was demolished.
And you see why Sawyer Brewster's in that 4 spot for UCCS. That ball was absolutely demolished to left field. Sitting out there in the field, you can see it there. And the Mountain Lions, with 1 strike from Sawyer Brewster, get all their runs back. It is a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the 3rd, and Paige White is up to bat. Only 1 out for the Mountain Lions, and Paige White can do some damage herself. So we'll see how Covington responds with her first adversity of the game. This one's hit well, but right over there to Alicia Martinez at second base, and that'll be out number 2.
That's a great way for the Mountain Lion offense to answer back after giving up the 3 runs in the previous inning. Some offense starting to show up after the first 2 innings for 1, 2, 3 from both of these pitchers. It felt like just moving fast.
Absolutely, and after hitting 1 in the first game today, Sawyer Brewster gets another one to sail over the fence. First pitch to Peyton Reisman in her second at-bat of this game is a ball. For Brewster, that was her 6th home run of the season. So continuing to rack up the points in that department. She ties Paige White for the team lead at 6 home runs on the season, as swinging through that one and falling behind 1 ball and 2 strikes is Peyton Reisman.
I believe she's almost caught up in RBIs as well.
Yeah, I was just checking on that right now as I look back at my notes, taking on that one to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes is Reisman, She had 2 RBIs in the first game, as that one's up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Reisman extends the inning for UCCS here, and that will bring up Cassidy Hubner. Hubner struck out swinging her first time up. So with 5 RBIs on the day for Brewster, that puts her 1 RBI behind Paige White for the team lead, I should say. It's hard to speak, I guess. And that one's going to be blooped over to third base. to Mia Campos, and she will make the final out of the inning. But the Mountain Lions with a huge hit from Sawyer Brewster and a demolished softball over the fence in left field to tie it at 3. We're going to look at replay here from the inning. As you see the Regis side of things here first, is nice little hit there. This was the first time that we really saw Rayburn struggle the stolen base to
From Leto.
move Leto, yes, into scoring position. That was proved to be crucial, as then she came around to score, and there's the home run we saw from Regis earlier. Morgan Hernandez-Ballou leading things off for the Mountain Lions. She had that double that fell in between the outfielders there, and there's that absolute just tank of a home run from Sawyer Brewster. I mean, what else do you say? Just watch that thing sail way, way out of here. So back here to start the 4th inning for Regis will be Raper. Swinging through that one and fouling it back for strike 1 is Catherine. Catherine flew out to right field her first time. That one misses. 1 ball and 1 strike now on the first base player for the Rangers. Rayburn gets her sign and fires. That one's just a bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike, but a good placement there on the pitch from Rayburn. Mountain Lions calling out their defensive strategy. Pitch there, and that one's hit well, but will go foul on the third base side here.
Yeah, one thing I've picked up is all of the girls here at UCCS are wearing those armbands, and coming from the dugout is a number, and they all take a peek and see what pitch is coming and where they should position themselves defensively.
That's a well hit ball into center field. Unable to catch up with it was Mia Perez. A chance for a play at second base, though. Safe. She did get her foot underneath for a moment. It looked like her foot may have come off of the bag, but a good hustle play by Raper to get in, sliding with a double, and a leadoff double, no less, for the Rangers. Brings up Rachel Williams with the runner in scoring position.
And that ball was pieced as well and just got over the head of Perez in center field.
Looks like we are going to get a pitching change here at Mountain Lion Field. So that will do it for Lexi Rayburn, as she will, the only way she'll be the pitcher of record is if Raper comes around to score. That is her runner out there. So if she does come around to score, she will become the pitcher of record for the Mountain Lions. Gabrielle Cronin comes in, though, for UCCS. She enters the day with a 7.54 earned run average, is 1-1 in decisions on her season in 5 appearances. She started 2 games and has pitched 13 complete innings. Has given up a couple of extra base hits, 1 double and a home run, and opposing players are hitting .327 off her in the year. Not too many walks on her season, only 11, 7 strikeouts, although she's only pitched 13 innings, so 11 and 13 isn't the greatest of percentages. She has punched out 7 and given up 18 hits for 19 runs. Only 14 of those runs, though, have been earned. No outs here in the Mountain Lions defensive half, I should say, of the fourth inning. No runs across yet for Regis. Only one batter has come through. That is Catherine Raper. She doubled and is still standing on second base. Rachel Williams out in right field this time around will face Cronin for the first time. That one is low for ball one. Another defensive call coming out for UCCS. Bunt on there. That one misses. They say she did pull her bat back in time. So 2 balls and no strikes. And to your point earlier about those armbands, you're seeing that a lot more as teams are trying to get around sign stealing from second base, especially now with Raper out there. If you're flashing signs from your catcher in between your legs, they typically tend to pick up on those the longer they're out there, and this way you kind of get around that, as now Cronin's behind 3 balls and no strikes.
It has become more common, and yesterday I was doing play-by-play for the baseball game over across the parking lot, and New Mexico Highlands was using their armbands. Even the pitcher had one as well.
So lots of the Regis Rangers pitchers have utilized those, as coming in and walking Williams on 4 pitches is Gabrielle Cronin. Not exactly what Ricky Rothbauer Stubbs was looking for her relief pitcher. That will bring up Shepard. Bunt there, kind of a line drive bunt. And safe at first as the ball was down. And a pump of her arms gives Shelby Shepard. So bases are now full of Rangers with nobody out, as Cronin comes in and struggles with her first few batters.
What do we think on that? Maybe, is it a base hit, or would you call that an error?
I think I would, if it were me, I would score that an error on the throw at least, but I tend to be a little harsher than most collegiate scorers, I will fully admit. So ball one, though, delivered to the plate as Moore comes up for the second time in this game. She fouls that one back to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. She grounded out to Hernandez Blue at second her first time up. After a strong start from Rayburn, she began to give up some traffic, but the Mountain Lions responded in their 3rd inning to tie it up on the Brewster home run. That pitch falls just a little bit before it gets to the plate. Ends up crossing low. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
And to me, it did feel like maybe a little bit of a quick leash on Rayburn, taking her out after the leadoff double in this inning, but you got to respect the moves. Cronin is in now, and it's her job to get out of this bases loaded, no out jam.
I'm inclined to agree with you on your thought there. I agree that Rayburn did give up a little bit of traffic there, and a big strikeout for Gabrielle Cronin as she gets more to go down swinging. Gives them 1 out. The base is still loaded, though, and not out of the woods as Simon's guard comes up to the plate. But Rayburn was pitching well, very well to start the game. Was perfect through their first 8 batters. Gave up a walk and then a couple of hits to give the Rangers that 3-0 lead, but her offense responded. So there is the possibility that she does return to the game later, but we will see whether or not that happens. We're going to get a pinch hitter here for the Rangers. First pitch misses for ball 1, excuse me. It is Carly Beard who's going to stand in for Simon's guard, number 20 for the Rangers. We saw her pinch hit yesterday as well, and the second pitch to her is in there for strike number 1, evening the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mountain Lions calling out more defensive strategies. 1-1 pitch. Nice job holding up there by Beard as she clearly wanted that one. You could see her arms start to cheat out in front of her, but she holds up on the swing. 2-1 pitch on its way from Cronin. That one is in there for strike 2. Or excuse me, no, ball 2. I thought I heard the umpire call out strike, but it is a ball instead. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Behind is Cronin. That one is going to be low, and walking in a run is Gabrielle. So that does count as an RBI for Beard. The Rangers take a 1-run lead once again.
And that's one of the points with Gabrielle Cronin, is coming into the game, 13 innings pitched and 11 walks, about 1 per inning, and she has 2 in this inning now, bringing her total up to 13 now, and that's just too many walks.
Yeah, consistency has been the issue with Cronin early in this season. She has pitched well, but tends to kind of waver when it comes to these situations. She does hit for strike 1 there, though, so we'll see if she can respond in this situation now after walking in that run. That one misses. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very, very big moment in this baseball game in the 4th inning. Need to limit the damage to get out of this top of the 4th.
Cronin fires, and that one is going to be in there as well for a strike. She moves ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes, I should say. And really those walks, as this one's hit well into center field. Over to make the play is Perez. The throw to the plate is not going to be in time. Over to third. He was going to call her out, but getting her hand underneath and safe at third. And that is Shepard over there that slides in. So Williams comes around to score, giving the Rangers a 2-run lead now, and Shepard moves up to third, coming all the way from, or excuse me, she was just on second, so only 1 base path away, but we will move on to the next batter. 1-0 count at the plate. It is back to the next pitch to Case is bounced over towards the Regis dugout for a foul ball. Two balls and 1 strike on the leadoff hitter for the Rangers. 2 outs now in the Regis half of the inning, and that one gets through Martinez and into left field. A couple more runs will score, and that will clear the bases for Regis, who explode in this inning for 4 runs and take a 7-3 lead.
And that's really unfortunate. Cronin did get her ground ball and just goes right under the legs of the shortstop Martinez for UCCS, allowing 2 more runs to score unearned with an error.
Second error of the day for Solana. She's been a lot stronger in the defensive department this weekend, but an unfortunate bounce there to get that one going through her legs, I should say. Brings up Mia Campos. Campos is 1 for 2 with a fly out to center and a 2-run home run back in, or excuse me, a 3-run home run. Or no, it was a 2-run home run. I was right the first time. 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning. First pitch to her misses though, ball 1. Cronin gets her sign and fires. A 1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1, evening the count. Good spot there. 2-1 the count now as that one misses. So continuing to do damage though is Case, as she now has 3 RBIs in this game alone. Second games of the day have definitely been the stronger point for her as Campos moves ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 pitch on its way, and swinging through that one is Campos and running the count full for Cronin. Big pitch coming up here with 3-2 and 2 outs after giving up 4 runs here. That one's going to be high and another walk issued.
That's not a bad pitch. You're trying to get a swing there, just a little bit too high above her eyeballs there, and she runs the walk from Cronin.
3rd walk of the inning for Gabrielle. Brings up Alicia Martinez. Alicia is the only Ranger who has yet to bat in this inning, so an opportunity to bat around for Regis here.
Quick update across the parking lot. Game 2 for UCCS baseball has just started.
So this one's grounded over to Brewster. She stands up, steps on her base, and that ends the threat for the Rangers. But they get 4 runs and take a 7-3 lead here in the 4th inning. When we return, the Mountain Lions will try and get a few back. When we return for UCCS, it will be 8, 9, and 1 due up with Matos, Horton, and Hernandez Ballou. We will be back here in a moment. We'll have some replay for you while we step away. You're watching UCCS and Ranger softball on the UCCS Live and RMAC network. Back here at Mountain Lion Field for the bottom of the 4th inning. It's going to be Brianna Matos to lead things off for UCCS. She struck out swinging in her first at-bat of this game. That was back in the 2nd inning of play. She'll stand into pitch for the Rangers here, excuse me. It's gonna be Cara Roadheaver. She comes in with the high mark in earned run average for the Rangers with a 2.10 ERA in 2 appearances. Has only pitched 3 1/3 on her young season, but thrust into action here against the Mountain Lions. She gets the count to go to 1 ball and 1 strike against Matos in their first time seeing each other this season. That one misses though, and moving ahead is Matos, 2 balls and 1 strike. This one is hit well into right field. It's going to get down for a hit and skip over the fence, so a ground rule double. And standing on second base with a leadoff double is Brianna Matos.
this may be an opportunity for the Rangers to get in a pitcher who's only had 2 appearances on the year with a 4-run lead, let her get a little bit of work in, and hopefully for the Rangers, she shuts down the Mountain Lions for a few innings.
First pitch misses to Horton. Brandon, her first at-bat, also struck out swinging. That was after Reisman reached on an error to lead off the second inning, and then Hubner, Matos, and Horton were all set down swinging on strikes. Stepping back in now is Horton. That one is going to miss as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Next pitch to Horton is in there for strike 1.
And this bottom half of the inning is really important for the Mountain Lions to answer back after giving up 4 in the top of the 4th inning.
3-1 pitch on its way, and that one misses. So going to first base is Horton on the walk. The Mountain Lions threatening a little bit here to start the inning.
Yeah, great start to this inning, getting the first 2 runners on, double and a home run. And maybe a pitching change, it looks like.
Looks like we will get a pitching change. So we're going to step away for just a moment here while we gather some stats on the incoming pitcher. But Mountain Lions threatening, still trail it by 4, but have a pair of runners out there with nobody out. Back here at Mountain Lion Field, it's going to be Catherine Raper who slides over from first base to take the ball. Coming into the game to play first base is going to be Shaylin Allen, the junior infielder from Eagle Crest High School up in Aurora, Colorado. Hernandez Blue will be the first one to face off against Raper, I should say, from a pitching standpoint, and her first pitch is in there for strike 1. Nice bunt put down there by Hernandez Blue. Won't be able to beat it out, but does a job as she moves the runners both into scoring position. Matos now 60 feet away, and Horton standing on second. So a sac bunt for Hernandez Blue will bring up Mia Perez.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like that the Rangers had removed their designated player spot to allow Shaylin Allen to come into first and Catherine Raper to pitch.
That does seem to be the case. We will confirm that when they come up to bat in the last half of the inning, as teams have the option to do a couple different things in that situation. We'll see what they elected to do after all. 1 ball and no strikes, though, the count on Perez. Raper steps back onto the rubber, will get her sign and come set. The offering on its way, and that is low in the right-handed batter's box for ball 2.
Wind has definitely picked up a little bit, as you can probably hear back at home. Though it's starting to come through our microphones, and the flag in center field is starting to move a little bit as well.
Yeah, still blowing from the southeast part of the facility here. 2-0 pitch, swung through a healthy cut there, but a better pitch from Raper, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now on the Mountain Lion center fielder. That pitch is going to be high, so 3 balls and 1 strike after getting the first out on Hernandez Ballou. Falling behind here is Catherine on the mound. Gets her sign, comes set. 3-1 pitch on its way, and that's going to be a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nothing wrong with a take there from Perez, as a little bit of a 50-50 pitch on the outside half, but call goes the way of Raper and the count runs full. 3-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen. The count remains, we'll do it again. Mountain Lions on base, Bryn Horton standing on second with Brianna Matos on third, just 60 feet away. If both of those runners come around, Mountain Lions will be within a pair. 3-2 pitch again. That one is outside and a walk.
Good eye there from Perez. Loads the bases now for Martinez.
Absolutely, and Martinez has been batting well here in game 2. She has a pair of doubles, came around to score, or excuse me, a pair of singles, came around to score on the Brewster 3-run shot back in the 3rd. She'll watch that one sail past her for strike 1. Ducks on the pond for UCCS. Perez on first, Matos on third, Horton in the middle, standing on second with Solana at the plate. 1 strike on her, the pitch there, high, ball 1. Good job though behind the plate for the Rangers, as Leto kept that one from going to the backstop. Would have been a run for UCCS if it had gotten past. 1-1 pitch coming now for Solana, and that one's going to be outside for ball 2. Good eye.
That has to be one of my favorite baseball and softball sayings. Ducks on the pond.
Some unusual ones in the sports of baseball and softball. They are very unique in that right. 1-1 pitch is fouled back, so working ahead in the count now, or excuse me, evening the count, I should say, at 2 balls and 2 strikes is Raper. But you're absolutely right. Some clever cliches, we'll say, in the sports of baseball and softball, which make them so unique.
Definitely.
2-2 pitch on its way here, and that one's going to be fouled off as well. Good job by Martinez to keep the at-bat alive. If she does get set down, though, as long as it's not by the double play variety, it will extend the inning to Brewster with only 1 out recorded here by the Rangers. Raper, though, ready, and she comes set. Pitch on its way here, 2-2, and that one's hit on the ground up the middle. Solana will be able to beat it out, so an RBI, fielder's choice. Has Martinez standing on first. Perez erased at second on the fielder's choice. Coming around to score is Brianna Matos, and moving up to third is Bryn Horton, with Brewster coming up to bat. And they've seen this movie before, have the Rangers, with 2 runners on and Brewster at the plate. A healthy swing for her there, but she comes up empty for strike 1.
Yeah, it feels like we just watched this a couple innings ago, didn't we?
Yep, just last inning she came up with Hernandez Ballou on third and Martinez on first. Same situation with first and third, and hit that absolute bomb over the fence here in left field. Falls behind 0-2 though this time around. Raper gets her sign and toes the rubber. She'll come set. Begins her windup now. The 0-2 pitch, high, ball one. Raper comes set again, begins her windup. 1-2 pitch, and that's fouled back. Good job wasting that pitch by Brewster, and the count will remain.
All these home runs from Sawyer Brewster is reminding me of Jocelyn Allo at Division I softball level. Just broke the all-time career home run record at the NCAA Division I level. So definitely all these home runs are reminding me of that.
And I bet that Brewster will take that comparison any day, as that one's a short, soft grounder, but gets up the middle. Coming in to score is Horton, so coming within that 2-run deficit is the Mountain Lions, as they're only down 7-5, I should say, excuse me. Brewster gets the single. Moving up to second base is Solana Martinez, as a nice job not running into an out by number 21 in black and gold. Paige White comes up. She is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a line out, but 2 solid contact at bats her first two times to the plate, excuse me. And she takes her ball 1 low to open this one.
Kind of feels like she's ready to explode as well. Hit her own home run. She has 6 on the year, and she's had some good swings today.
Well, she came through in a big way in the first inning yesterday with that grand slam. We'll see if she's able to do similar types of damage here, as she takes that one for strike 1. And White, we talked about, she typically catches game 1 and then is the designated player for the Mountain Lions in game 2, because they do not want to take that bat away from her. So that one is in there for strike 2, though you can't hit the ball if you do not swing the bat, so being a little patient, could argue a bit too patient here for Paige. Raper gets her sign once again. 1-2 pitch on its way, and that's outside for ball 2. Two pitch to White is going to be bounced, and running herself into an out in between the base pass is Sawyer Brewster, so it's a fielder's choice for White, but out is on the tag for Sawyer to end the inning. And that will do it for the Mountain Lions in their half of the 4th inning. We go to 5. Mountain Lions get a pair back, though. They still trail 7-5. We'll give you some replays in between, but we will see you in the 5th inning when we return. So Catherine Raper will lead things off for the Rangers in the 5th inning after she came in, or slid over, I should say, to pitch in the top half of the inning. Ball 1 to Raper. Rutkoff into the game to pitch for UCCS. We'll get you some numbers on her in a moment as she delivers ball 2. So it does look as though for, the Rangers, that designated player position will be filled by Shaylin Allen. So she will not bat, but only play defensively, it appears. 2-1 at the plate as we return to action here, and Rutkoff delivers a strike. That one low, 3 balls and 1 strike.
This game has definitely been all hands on deck for the UCCS pitching staff now. We've seen 3 girls in this game.
The only pitcher that has made an appearance this year that has not pitched in this game for the Mountain Lions is Braylon Crenshaw, as we saw her go all 9 innings in game 1, but getting a strikeout to open up her day as Raper goes down swinging does Mackenzie Rutkoff. Some numbers on her coming into today. Has a .430 earned run average, is 1-1 record-wise in 7 appearances. She has 1 start to her season. Foley now, with that out there, has pitched 14 1/3 and moves up to 18 punch-outs on her season and delivers strike 1 to Williams. And that one's hit well into center field, but standing right there, hardly had to move, did Mia Perez. So a line out to center for Williams will bring up Shepard.
Yeah, one of the things I like about Mackenzie Rutkoff, not a lot of walks, only 2 in her 15-plus innings now with 17 strikeouts. The only thing is a little bit too many hits, but that's okay. As long as she keeps striking out and not walking people, she's going to keep getting innings.
Well, and Rutkoff follows the same type of mentality that we talked about Kylie Harmon in that first game. She likes to fill up the zone. She's going to make you use her defense, and that's kind of why the hits kind of are racked up for her, is she's going to make you hit the ball. As that one is blooped right back to her. She's going to secure it herself in a 1-2-3 inning coming in for Rutkoff, and a great start to her afternoon for Mackenzie. The Mountain Lions still trail by a pair, I should say, as they come up in their half in the 5th inning. After this, it will be 6, 7, and 8 with Reisman, Hubner, and Matos when we return to Mountain Lion Field. You're watching the Rangers and UCCS square off in Armac softball from Mountain Lion Field. Here at Mountain Lion Field, Raper back out there on the mound for the Rangers. She delivers ball 1 as Reisman steps back into the batter's box. She has a single and has reached both times. Her first, though, was on an error. That was over at second base by Alicia Martinez, but she'll take for strike 1 this time. 1-1 the count. 1-1 pitch misses as well. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count on Reisman. Two-one pitch on its way, and that one's hit well, but it's going to cheat foul. Will it be able to have a play? And no, it will not, as that would have been a home run if it was fair, but unfortunately it cheats foul. So a very long and loud strike after all for Peyton Reisman. She'll return to the plate with 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Definitely had home run distance, just a few feet to the too far foul.
Yeah, straighten that one out, and the Mountain Lions are within a run as that one misses as well, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Second time that Reisman has had a full count on her, as when she reached in the second inning on that error, she was facing a full count. Nobody out here in the half of the inning for the Mountain Lions, but this one's hit out to right field. And over to make the play is Rachel Williams for the Rangers, and that is out number 1, bringing up Cassidy Hubner.
And in the bullpen for the Regis Rangers is Kylie Hartman.
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw her again. She's pitched well. Only concern is that she did throw quite a haul of pitches in the first game. That one went 2 extra innings and finished in 9. High strike swung through there, as trying to catch up to it was Cassidy Hubner.
Had her at 132 pitches in her complete game in the first matchup today.
Typically see higher pitch counts in softball than you would in baseball because of the more natural arm motion that the windmill pitching is. 0-2 on Hubner now, though, is Raper. Oh-2 pitch on its way, and that's popped up. That's gonna get over towards the Mountain Lion dugout and out of play as it bounces into the stands behind the screen. Fan diving out of the way over there. Went to grabs his hat.
Kind of face planted over there, yeah. He's okay though.
So he laughs it off and returns to his seat. An 0-2 count at the plate, though. Hubner continues to battle. The second 0-2 pitch is once again wasted back to the backstop. Nobody on, 1 out for Hubner here, as Raper tries to set down the second batter of the inning in order. 0-2. That one misses. Good eye from Hubner to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. That one was going to be a high ball, but fighting it off and staying alive is Hubner. It lands behind the press box, behind the home plate area, and the count remains. One-two pitch on its way, and that one's bounced up the right side, trying to beat the throw, and unable to do so is Hubner. So she goes down, the second batter in order. It's a 4-3 put out for Regis on the soft ground ball. We'll bring up Brianna Matos. The left fielder for the Mountain Lions is 1 for 2 with a swinging strikeout her first time up in the second inning, and then she bounced one over the fence and right for a ground rule double, then came around to score a run in the fourth. That was on the RBI hit by Martinez, and going to make the catch over her shoulder is Case, and that will end the inning as the Mountain Lions go down 1-2-3 in their half of the fifth. Good inning of pitching from Raper, and the Mountain Lions will try and keep the deficit at 2 when they come up in their half of the 6th inning when we return from Mountain Lion Field. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Rangers and Mountain Lions square off on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live.
Quick scoring update across the parking lot for UCCS men's baseball. In the first inning, Kichi Sato tripled and was scored, making the score 1-0. And then in this past inning, back-to-back doubles from Casey Campbell, Matt Johnson, and Walker Rumsey, giving the Mountain Lions a 4-0 lead in the top of the third.
Casey Campbell has been a big part of that team, and not a whole lot of success over there, but he's had a good start to his season, and that's good to see as some of the new faces getting involved over there for the baseball team here at UCCS. 1-0 back here at softball, and Rutkoff delivers a strike to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch on its way, and that one's lifted into the infield. Over to make the catch is Morgan Hernandez-Ballou. And that sets down the first out of the inning. Simonsgard takes her 3rd turn of the afternoon. She is 0 for 1 with a fly out to Solana Martinez over at shortstop, and then a walk back in the 4th inning. She came around to score a run as well. That was the 7th run of the game for the Rangers. Right now the winning run was scored by Shepard, as that one is hit over to the right side and gets through, as almost getting past Horton as well in right field, but she picks it up and keeps Simonsgard at just a single.
Yeah, hard hit ball in that gap. It's difficult for a second baseman to make that play. She lays out, just tips off of her glove for a single.
Morgan Leto stands in now for the Rangers. Leto is also 0 for 1 with a walk, a stolen base, a run scored, and a fly out. So a very eventful 3rd inning for her. She reached with 2 outs on the walk, stole 2nd, and then came around to score when Jessie Case had her RBI double. Only other at bat for her was the fly out in the 4th inning. She finds herself even here with a 1-1 count. One's across the board here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the Regis half of the 6th. 1-1 pitch. It's going to be a little high for ball 2. One pitch, it misses as well, as Rutkoff leaves that one a little low. 3 balls and 1 strike now with 1 out. Double play is in order for the Mountain Lions. Swinging through that one though is Leto, and the count will run full. Good response after the low ball in the previous pitch by Rutkoff to get back and run this count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch on its way, and that one misses just a bit low. A nice spot, but just missing, as moving to second base is Simonsgard, and losing Leto to first base is Rutkoff. flips the lineup card over for the Rangers, and will bring up Jessie Case as she begins the 4th trip through the lineup for UCCS. For Regis, I should say, excuse me. First pitch is high for ball 1. After 4 consecutive balls thrown, Rothbauer Stubbs is going to come out and have a chat with her infield. And the Mountain Lions had a very strong start from Rayburn, kind of fell apart there in the 3rd inning. An early hit in the 4th inning is where we saw Rayburn exit. Thought it was a little bit of an early exit. You and I both agreed on that earlier, but Cronin came in and mightily struggled, giving up 4 runs. Mountain Lions get a couple runs back, but still trail by 2, and Regis is really just taking advantage of the pitching struggles from UCCS offensively. Credit to the Rangers and the Mountain Lions trying to get that momentum back at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And this is a big moment for Mackenzie Rutkoff and the Mountain Lions as a whole. Down only 2 runs, you want to keep that deficit as low as possible. Don't want to give up any runs in the top of the 6th.
Especially in these late innings, those runs are hard to overcome. The 2-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike 1 on Case, and a good response there from Rutkoff after back-to-back balls to open the at-bat. Mountain Lions still continue to call out their defensive strategy from the dugout. This ball's crushed, but it's gonna cheat foul as that one goes over the fence, but is not in fair play. So a long and loud strike this time for the Rangers and Jessie Case. Count is even at 2.
A little too close for comfort. Definitely could have opened up the game for the Rangers, just maybe 5 feet foul.
2-2 pitch, misses low, the count is full once again. Back-to-back full counts for Rutkoff here as she runs the count full on Leto and Case. 3-2 pitch. That one's hit right at Sawyer Brewster, trying to double up at second base, and they get it back to second before Mia Moore can get back. So a double play ends the inning for the Rangers, and the Mountain Lions still only trail a pair as they stomp out the threat in the 6th inning from the Rangers and have the opportunity to tie it at 7 when they come up in the bottom half of the inning when we return. You're watching Mountain Lions softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live YouTube. Back here for the bottom of 6 here at Mountain Lion Field, and Mountain Lions are going to pinch hit here as Courtney Heller digs in for UCCS in place of Bryn Horton to start things off. 9-1 and 2 spots due up for UCCS as Heller takes strike 1 over the plate to open the at-bat.
And she's had some of the best at-bats of the weekend for the Mountain Lions. Happy to see her come in as a pinch hitter down 2 runs.
And a big bat available off the bench here in the 2nd game of this series, or the double headers, I should say, as She comes out from that designated player position for game 2, but is still available off the bench and a very good option in that role. 1-1, and that ball's hit. Staying up in no man's land, though. It does fall in. Thinking about going for 2 does Heller, but she does not run very well. She'll return to first base, and they'll undoubtedly pinch run for her as she's still nursing that right knee from a season or so ago, and Horton will re-enter on the base pass. So doing a job in the pinch hit situation, getting on base to lead things off is Heller, and the tying run will come to the plate for UCCS as Horton re-enters, and that's what the umpires are confirming with Rothbauer Stubbs on the lineup card. Flips the lineup card over as well with no outs here as Hernandez-Ballou starts things off for the 4th time. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. Hernandez-Ballou today is 1 for 3 with a double, a sac bunt, and a strikeout as she struck out looking in the first inning. Nice pickup there. Gets the lead runner at second base, but unable to catch up with Hernandez-Ballou at first. So fielder's choice for Morgan erases erases Horton, who re-entered at second. Mia Perez steps in. She is 0 for 1 in 3 plate appearances. She's got a hit by pitch, a walk, and a swinging strikeout.
I think I would have liked to have seen a slide at second base from Horton. Maybe makes the play a little bit more difficult for the umpire to call, and maybe he calls her safe, you know.
Was a close play over there at second, but the out is recorded nonetheless. Ball 1 taken by Perez to open this at bat. Raper still on the mound in this inning for the Rangers. She comes set and fires. That one is low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Big at-bat here from Perez.
Yes, indeed, as Raper begins to look in. She toes the rubber again. 2-0 pitch on its way now, and that's hit through the left side. Base hit for the center fielder of UCCS, and first and second situation now with 1 out as Martinez steps in. She has reached base all 3 at-bats, but is 2 for 3 as her last time she had an RBI fielder's choice. Leto's gonna come out and talk to Raper on the mound. Cloud coming over the field here as a shadow is cast. Infield for the Rangers will come in and talk to each other, give each other, I should say, some reassurance as Martinez digs in for the Mountain Lions. 4th appearance at the plate in this game for Solana. Thought about that one as you could see the top half of her body begin to turn, but she'll let it fly in for strike 1 instead. 1 out recorded in the inning. Runners on first and second as Hernandez-Ballou's on second. Perez stands on first. That one low for ball 1.
Curious to see how Raper pitches to Martinez here with Sawyer Brewster looming on deck in this situation.
Well, and it's the tough part of the lineup. Can't pitch around Brewster or Martinez, as both of them very capable. One's across the board, 1-1 with 1 out. That one in there for strike 2 on the outside half of the plate.
Even then, Paige White following Sawyer Brewster. It's big bat, big bat, big bat, right back to each other.
No room to breathe at all in this middle part of the order for UCCS. 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be high for ball 2. 2-2 pitch. That one gets away, and the runners are going to move up for the Mountain Lions, and that's a huge mistake, as now 2 runs are in scoring position, and the tying run also with Perez standing on second base. A ball to the wall will for sure score 2. Martinez runs the count full in a big situation now.
Base hit, you may want to take that risk and send her home as well.
We'll see. 3-2 pitch, and that's going to get through. Will it roll to the wall? No, cutting it off. They are sending Perez. She'll score. Tie game at 7. Solana Martinez comes through with a huge 2 RBI single.
That's exactly what we're looking for. We just said it. Base hit up the middle, got to the wall, and scored both runs.
Perez and Hernandez-Ballou come through to score runs 6 and 7 for the Mountain Lions. Only 1 out recorded, and Martinez still on base as she stands at first. And here comes Hartman. Will step away as she will warm back up, but the pitcher the Mountain Lions have struggled so mightily with re-entering here in Game 4. We'll see what happens when we return. Back here at Mountain Lion Field, we are all square at 7. Tacos for everybody at Mountain Lion Field today, but we're back with the arm that the Mountain Lions have struggled so much with this weekend as another cloud passes over here, delivering strike 1 to Brewster, but Brewster has hit Hartman well as of today. That pitch is a healthy swing from Brewster, but unable to get behind it, and she fouls it back. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes quickly here on the third base player for UCCS this afternoon. Hartman looks in for her sign, changes her grip on her ball in her glove, offers now, and that one's gonna miss for ball 1. Good eye from Brewster.
This is just incredible to me. This is unheard of in baseball, having someone go a complete game, 132 pitches, and then 2 hours later, she's back in the game trying to close out a win.
And that's one of the biggest differences between the 2 sports. Many people will argue that they are so similar, which in many ways that they are, but there are some things on either side that you'd see on one but would never see in the other. But it is a swinging strikeout for Brewster for the 2nd out of the inning, and a big at-bat here for Paige White. With 2 outs, runner on, game tied, foul ball to open things up. White has yet to get a hit. She is 0 for 3 with a fly out, a line out, and a fielder's choice to this point. That one's fouled off as well, 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. That one misses ball 1. A good spot from Hartman, the Regis faithful here at Mount Lion Field, who have traveled well down from Denver. Wanted the call, will not get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes instead. So that's Hartman's favorite count. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed at Paige White. And that will end the threat for the Mountain Lions, but not before they get 2 back and tie things up here at the end of 6. And once again, for the second game in a row, we enter the 7th inning tied up, this time at 7. And we'll see what happens in installment number 2. We'll step away as we show you some replay from this inning. But you're watching the Mountain Lions and Rangers square off in Game 4 of this 4-game set and Game 2 of this Day 2 doubleheader. Back here to start things off in the top half of the 7th. As standing in, still on the mound for UCCS is Mackenzie Rutkoff. She'll try and close things out. Is Mia Campos that will start things off offensively for the Rangers. Quickly, falling behind, no ball and 2 strikes though.
Yeah, the freshman out of Tucson, Arizona has had quite a weekend for herself.
Indeed she has, as she tries to continue it here. Rutkoff though, ahead, 0-2. And that's a called strike 3, a big start to the 7th inning for UCCS and Rutkoff. She gets the backwards K on Campos, and that'll bring up Alicia Martinez, who has yet to find her way on base in this game. 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts and a ground out.
That may be my fault she struck out. The broadcaster jinx is real.
It sure is, as I have jinxed many a situation in my time, as that one is fouled back for strike 1. Sun comes back out here as the shadows subside for the moment. Just a couple of clouds in the sky here at Mountain Lion Field, but the one big one in the way of the sun for that last half inning, as that one is in there for a strike as well. So back-to-back at-bats, getting ahead 0-2. See if Rutkoff goes for a chase pitch this time. She does, and not offering on it is Martinez. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now. One, 2. That one misses just below the knees. A good spot, though, as Rutkoff tries to get Martinez to fire at it. No dice, however. 2-2. Nobody on, 1 out. The situation on the base pass. 2-2 pitch on its way, and that one's hit way out in front of that one was Martinez, as she hits it back into the screen in front of her own dugout, and the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on its way, and that one's fouled back as well, as Martinez continues to battle. Count will remain. 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to hit Martinez right in the square of the back. Rutkoff goes over to tell her, that's my fault, I'm sorry. And she'll jog down to first base. Raper will take her turn as Rutkoff returns to the pitching circle. Raper 1 for 3 with a fly out, a strikeout, and a double. Also a run scored for Regis. Jumping out of the way of that line drive is the coach for the Rangers. Oh and 1 at the plate, the offering here, and that one is in there for strike 2 as well. Good spot from Rutkoff. So we talked about how Rutkoff likes to attack batters, filling up the strike zone. You can see it here as she's been up 0-2 on a handful of batters in this inning. That one is a pass ball, though, gets by Hubner, allows Martinez to move up into scoring position.
And that's really unfortunate. It takes away the double play and puts a runner in scoring position now to take the lead this late in the game.
Especially through the heart of the lineup for the Rangers, although this part of the lineup has struggled for the most part today. Raper gets a ball back, though. 1-2 pitch. That one's bounced. Wouldn't have been able to get the double play anyway. Out at first base, Regis wanted the call, just beating the runner to the bag, though, is Hernandez-Ballou. It is a 4-3 put out. And that'll bring up Williams, although it does move that go-ahead run up 60 feet, and only 60 feet away is Martinez on third. Rutkoff fires. That one misses for ball 1. Williams is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. She lined out to center right at Mia Perez. Hardly had to move her last time up in the 5th inning. And this is well hit into the outfield. It's going to stay in the park, and settling under it to end the threat and move the Mount Lions to their final half inning of our set 7 innings. As we're still tied 7, we'll see what happens. We may have more free softball for you, though, when we return. Mount Lions and Rangers all square at 7 as we go to the bottom of 7 from Mountain Lion Field. It will be Peyton Reisman playing first base here today for UCCS to lead things off with the 6, 7, and 8 spots due up for the Mountain Lions. Ball 1 delivered by Hartman, who's back out there for the Rangers. Similar situation we saw in game 1 today. This time making contact and getting thrown out at first to open the inning is Reisman. So 2 pitches and 1 out for Hartman as she gets Reisman to roll over on that offering. Brings up Hubner. Hubner 0 for 3 on the day today. Did not see her in the opening game of this doubleheader. Slid in to catch. Has a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. So all the different ways that you can get out, she has accounted for. So maybe she's bound to put one in play this time around and account for all different types. Falls behind 0-1, swings through that one and is behind 0-2. Oh-2 pitch, fouled back. Good job by Hubner to stay alive there. So these are big situations for the Mountain Lions, as taking the split on the weekend for them, Regis versus losing 3 out of 4 will be a big deal in the conference standings, as that one misses for ball 1 ball and 2 strikes. Although the Mountain Lions were able to hand the Rangers their first loss in RMAC competition yesterday. That one's high, ball 2.
Yeah, Regis now 10-1 in the RMAC, and UCCS 7-4. This game, it would make a big difference as to making Regis 10-2 or 11-1.
Mountain Lions came into the weekend in 4th place in RMAC play, as swinging through that one and going down on strikes is Hubner. So down to their final out before extra innings is the Mountain Lions. The Rangers came into the weekend undefeated, 8-0 in RMAC play before they split with the Mountain Lions yesterday and won game 1 here today. They were in first place for the conference, offering at that one on the bunt attempt is Matos, coming up empty for strike 1. Campos at third and Raper back over at first, taking a few steps in case she tried the bunt attempt again. She does not. She pulls it back and fouls it back. So 0-2 once again for the Mountain Lions. Oh-2 pitch, low, ball 1. Mountain Lions down to their final strike of the regular scheduled innings today. One-two pitch on its way, swung through strike 3, and a big inning for Hartman re-entering play this afternoon, and that will send us once again to extra innings from Mountain Lion Field. All square at 7. Take those first 7 innings on the board, throw them away. It's a new day and a new game here, and the next innings are all that matter. It will be Shepherd, Moore, and Simonsgard due up 6, 7, and 8 spots for Regis. When we return, we'll have the start of the 8th inning from Mountain Lion Field. Don't go anywhere. You're watching RMAC Softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live YouTube. Back here for the start of extra innings from Mountain Lion Field. First offering from Rutkoff to Shepherd, fell in for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch here, big swing there, and coming up empty is Shepherd, and it's an 0-2 count. Rutkoff gets her sign and comes set. The 0-2 pitch on its way, and that one's gonna bounce in off the plate for ball one. One-two pitch. That was a very good spot from Rutkoff. Doesn't get this call though. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the designated player for Regis, Shelby Shepard. That one's hit over to Martinez at shortstop. Only having to take a single step back is Solana, and that's the first out of the extra frame. Brings up Mia Moore. One out, set down. Mia at the plate, takes for ball one. Gets ahead of Rutkoff. 1 ball and no strikes. Next pitch to Moore is going to fall in there, evening the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Rutkoff continues to fill up the zone for UCCS. Bouncing this one, gets past the pitcher and unable to make a play on it is Martinez. Is already at first base was Moore, so an infield single. This is the first runner of extras, as that brings up Jordan Simonsgard. Rutkoff returns to her pitching circle, toes the rubber and looks in for her sign, gets it and starts. And that's hit well into center field. Over to make the play though is Mia Perez for out number 2. And that will bring Corinne Leto back up to the plate. On her day, she is 0 for 1 with a pair of walks, a run scored, and a stolen base, though her last time up she walked in the 6th and was stranded at first. See what happens this time around. She takes a healthy cut at that one, comes up empty for strike 1. As the sun once again comes back out here at Mountain Lion Field. That only one cloud over by the sun is making a little serpentine action, giving us some shadows. 0-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Throw to second base, safe. Looked like it was a good throw. Looked like Solana Martinez got the tag down, but a little swim move on the base pass from Mia Moore gets her a stolen base, the second stolen base of the day for the Rangers. As at the plate, Leto had one back in the 3rd inning of play, but in scoring position is a go-ahead run for the Rangers. 0-2 at the plate, though. That pitch hit well over to second base. Hernandez Ballou up with it, and she'll get the out at first. So stranded once again on the base pass is a Ranger. And that will do it for the 8th inning on the Rangers side of things. If they do extend it to 9, it will be 1, 2, and 3 at the top of the lineup, due up for Regis. For the Mountain Lions in their half of the extra frame, it will be 9, 1, and 2 due up, with Horton, Hernandez, and Perez due to the plate. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good finish from Game 4 here at Mountain Lion Field. You're watching RMAC Softball. Bottom of the 8th inning, as we are in our first extra frame here in game 2. It took us 2 extra frames in game 1 of today to find a winner. The Mountain Lions hope that it only takes 1 frame in game 2. They'll lead things off with Bryn Horton as that one will miss for ball 1. That one is wasted back towards the third base side, out of play, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Horton on her day to this point, 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, a run scored, and a strikeout. Just getting beat to the bag by the ball that time, though, for out number 1, as she once again tried the bunt for a hit opportunity. Flips the lineup over, though, for UCCS. So the heart of the lineup will come through at some point today, as if the Mountain Lions are unable to get a run in this inning, that will guarantee that at least Martinez, Brewster, and White will come up next inning. All 3 big bats, but first it's Hernandez, Ballou, and Perez to come up this inning, and nothing to look past if you're Regis either, as Hernandez, Ballou is behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Oh-2 pitch, hit up in the air. Looks like it's gonna stay in play. Unable to communicate are Raper and Leto, and so it does fall in safely as a foul ball. Returning to pick up her bat and with new life at the plate has Hernandez Ballou.
Yeah, on a play like that, that's probably should be the first baseman's ball. She has a much better angle to catch it from there, where the catcher is focusing on one thing and shifting to the other.
Not only is it a tough play in general for the catcher, but the spin from the baseball moves it away from the catcher in most instances, that one included. Hernandez continues to battle nonetheless. 0-2 the count remains, offering here, and she's gonna bounce that one through the left side. It looked like Case had a beat on it, but it goes past her and into left field, and the Mountain Lions have a base runner in extra innings. That'll set up Mia Perez, and Perez has had a decent day from the plate. She is 1 for 2, with a base hit her last time out. Also came around to score the tying run in the 6th inning for UCCS. Was hit by pitch in the 1st, walked in the 4th, and was stranded and struck out swinging in the 3rd. Takes for ball 1 to open up this at-bat. 1-0 pitch misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes, as Perez continues to work further ahead on Hartman.
I'd be surprised to see a steal here. The catchers for the Rangers have been throwing girls out today, so.
Absolutely, and you don't want to run yourself out of a game, as that one's hit over towards us, but a little bit too far behind us. I thought I was going to make the play that time, but unable to, unfortunately.
Jake, I was fully ready for you to lay out for that ball.
I'm tied down by cords, unfortunately, or else I am no stranger to sacrificing the body, as anyone will tell you, I'm sure. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count at the plate. That one again hit over towards us. I think we may have upset Mia Perez at some point. If so, we do apologize. But 2 balls and 2 strikes instead. 1 out. Runner on first is Hernandez Ballou. Hartman gets her sign. The 2-2 pitch is high for ball 3, and a good at-bat being put together by Perez. Still standing on first is Hernandez Ballou. She'll probably stay pat there unless a ball is in play. or ball gets away, I should say, and that is ball 4. So moving up into scoring position is the winning run in Hernandez-Ballou. Although the Mountain Lions do have backup on first base in Mia Perez as Solana Martinez comes up. And Solana Martinez, her last time up, had a huge 2 RBI single to tie the game at 7. See what happens this time around. That one misses as well, ball 1.
Very big moment for both the pitcher, Kylie Hartman, and the hitter, Solana Martinez.
Martinez takes a healthy hack on that one, gets it up by the label though, and it fouls back into the parking lot area. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's good to see Solana get her back going. Struggled in the first game today, but has had some massive hits to keep the Mountain Lions in it today. And that one gets through. Are they gonna send her? No. They'll hold up Morgan Hernandez-Ballou at third. I think that was the right decision by Rothbauer Stubbs. It was a late stop sign. She apologizes to Hernandez, who kind of had to think quickly, but a single for Solana as she continues to do damage here in game 2. Jessie Case did have an opportunity to make a play on that one. That's the second one she's let through that left side. Mountain Lions fill the bases. Sawyer Brewster at the plate takes ball 1, and this stadium is getting louder by the moment. And to settle things down, Leto's going to go talk to her infield as the Mountain Lion dugout and fans continue to make their presence known here.
And it's such a difficult decision whether to send Hernandez-Ballou to score on that single, but you never know. You have a pitcher who's dominated this lineup for now 2 days entirely, but your best hitter is at the plate in Sawyer Brewster, so probably the right call from our head coach.
And Brewster has hit Kylie Hartman very well across the day. Had a massive shot in game 1. Had a massive shot in game 2. Has a pretty good hit here, but it's gonna fall foul. Strike 2 and allowed 1, or excuse me, strike 1 and allowed 1, I should say. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hernandez-Ballou at third has good speed. If you get the ball to the outfield, you have to believe that it gives her a pretty good opportunity to score. I do agree holding her though, because the left fielder was coming in. It wasn't a very hard throw to make. So probably the right decision there, especially with Brewster due up. The 1-1 pitch though, and that one's hit well. It's gonna get down, and the Mountain Lions are gonna walk it off. Morgan Hernandez-Ballou comes around to score. And that's the game as Sawyer Brewster walks it off with a single.
And that ball was a laser beam as well. She definitely had Hartman's number today with a few hits off of her, including that home run in the first game. What a tough situation for Kylie Hartman to be in as well. Dominated in earlier and finds herself struggling in this extra inning.
And what a performance by UCCS. They come out pitching well with Lexi Rayburn. It ends up not going her way. A little bit of an early exit, I would still say, for number 7 in black and gold, but the Mountain Lions respond nicely. A huge hit back in the 6th inning from Solana Martinez to tie the game at 7, and a even bigger hit from Sawyer Brewster in the bottom of the 8th inning to win it for UCCS. And we talked about it earlier. The Mountain Lions and Rangers looked pretty even through these games, but huge for the Mountain Lions to earn the split here in extra innings in game 2.
100%. You had a team that was undefeated in RMAC play coming into this weekend, and now you split the series 2-2 is fantastic, and a couple of really clutch hits from Solana Martinez in this game.
Absolutely, and for the Mountain Lions and Rangers both, just a couple hits or few inches away on either side from taking 3 out of 4 in this series in extra innings in game 1, in extra innings in game 2 here on day 2. But the Mountain Lions are able to come out victorious. We're going to step away here for the final time today. We'll leave you with some highlights of the final few innings, but for all of us here at UCCS, our athletic department, our camera crew, and everyone back in the truck, my name is Jake Ross alongside Michael Newman saying so long. Mountain Lions earn the split with the Rangers here. They'll be back in action next weekend as RMAC play continues, but from Mountain Lion Field this weekend, we say so long.